Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. If you enjoy a good tale of you reap what you sow, then you're going to love today's story. Let's dive right in. But before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button, smash the like if you enjoy the content, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a juicy story. Entitled sister-in-law tries to take credit for large cancer fundraiser donation. So, context. My mother has a friend that has terminal cancer. She got diagnosed about a year or so ago, and it's recently went terminal. She has only a few months left. So our friends and family decided to have a fundraiser in her honor to help cover medical, afterlife, bucket list costs, as well as help the family out after she passes. This lady's an amazing person. Everyone in town knows and loves her. She's a hairdresser and has been doing my mom's hair for ages. My mom's been a big part of the planning/fundraising for this event. There are a handful of this woman's friends and family taking a hand in it. However, most of them live an hour or so away, so the businesses and people they are getting donations from are not our town, and they don't know anyone. So my mom took it upon herself to call damn near every business in town. Family-owned shops, restaurants, chain shops, restaurants, travel agencies, insurance agencies, big places of employment, etc., as well as donations from the general public. She even got our local Walmart to donate too. She's gotten everything from small items, gift cards, whole baskets, massages, discounts. She even got our local airport to donate 2 30-minute airplane rides around our county. And the latest place to donate was our bowling alley. The guy who runs/owns the place is amazing. He also coaches both our high school bowling teams. When my mom called, he said that he's going to take a bit to think about what to donate because he wants to do something other than just a free bowl or two. He ended up ordering 2 new bowling balls and is donating them along with 2 one-hour bowling parties for 10 bowlers. Like a $400 donation overall, at least. So anyway, he told her last week when he called to confirm what he's donating, to call back in a week today to check if it's in and if she can come pick it up. She's been posting thanks on Facebook for the donators and telling what they've donated to kind of give a peek at what the auction baskets will include. So she called today to ask if it's in and when she can pick it up. She was then informed that someone already did. My mom was not made aware that someone else was picking it up. She posted about the donation on Facebook and added in the group chat that they have for friends and family. No one outside of this chat knew that she hadn't picked them up yet. She messaged them all asking if one of them had grabbed it and forgot to tell her, and they had no clue what she was talking about. We thought that maybe some jackwagon saw the post and decided to take it for themselves. I called the owner and asked if he knew who picked the stuff up, and he said Julia. He said that since she was family, he thought that we sent her. My mom texted the group chat asking if anyone knew who she was, and it turns out that she's the woman's husband's sister. This sister is not in any of the group chats and has not attended any of the meetings regarding the fundraiser or the planning. The woman's daughter is in the group chat and is very active in the planning and the fundraising. She called her mom and asked if she heard from the sister and if she's seen the bowling balls/certificates, and her mom said that the sister brought them to her home, saying that she got this huge donation from the bowling alley. None of the donations have been going to her house. We don't want to clutter up her house and cause her stress trying to help plan, so the friends and family have been keeping the stuff at our houses until time for the fundraiser. So there's no other reason for her to take them to her house other than to take credit for it. I just don't understand why she would take it upon herself to go pick up a huge donation that she didn't take part in without telling my mother, the one who got the donation, that she didn't need to pick it up because she got it covered. She took it straight to the woman's house without asking the group that's planning where we're storing the donations, and she didn't tell anyone that she took it. She doesn't even live in our town. She lives 30 minutes away. She had to go so out of her way to pick this up. She took this to her sister-in-law's house trying to take credit for this huge donation when she hasn't put in a lick of work to this fundraiser and left us worried that someone just took our donation and ran with it. I honestly thought sister-in-law was going to be one of those people who was going to steal the donation to then sell it and keep the money and not tell anyone. And our second story. Require reflective belts? Get ready for the most fabulously adorned PT group you've ever seen. I was in the Air Force, assigned to a unit attached to support the Army. We had all kinds of additional training to be able to work with our Army brethren, weapons training, combat training, equipment and vehicle training, etc. Basically enough training to function as an emergency infantryman if crap ever hit the fan. Your average Air Force unit never got nor ever needed this additional training. We were an autonomous unit on the Army installation, but in an effort to beef up our relationships with the Army units we supported, we would participate in their training exercises, weapons range qualification sessions, and physical training, PT sessions. The Air Force PT uniform has reflective stripes and insignia. Our uniform regulations said that reflective belts weren't needed because the uniform was inherently reflective. Individual units could make adjustments to uniform regulations, but our commander didn't give a crap. We tried to PT with one of our supported Army brigades, about 4,000 soldiers, or one of their subordinate battalions, 500 to 800 soldiers, once a week. One such morning, we planned on running with one of our supported brigades during their BCT run, Brigade Combat Team, about 4,000 soldiers. This was their whole unit running en masse. We were in our Air Force PT uniforms, as we always were. We were actually kind of pumped to run with them because it was the first time we were going to run with so many people in formation. As we got to the staging area, we were approached by some soldiers who looked pissed. The Command Sergeant Major, highest enlisted ranking person in a unit, and a few senior officers told us we couldn't run with them if we weren't wearing reflective belts. This unit required all members running in formation to wear a reflective belt draped over their shoulder like a Girl Scout sash. It was ridiculous, but whatever. We sent a few gophers back to our building to grab some reflective belts. We all kept our reflective belts at our desks or in unlocked lockers. They were also bejazzled and crap because there were no rules regarding reflective belts. Mine was bright pink with silver dots on it. One gay guy, this was after Don't Ask, Don't Tell was repealed, had a rainbow one. One lady had a pink and black zebra stripe one. Our commander had a silver one that you couldn't even see against his PT shirt. Most of our people had yellow or red ones, but some of us who'd been there longer had grossly personalized ones that were as garish and ostentatious as possible while still meeting the spirit of the intent of the reflective belts. I should pause here to point out that not only did the Army require reflective belts, but they also separated ranks by colors. Junior enlisted were one color, non-commissioned officers were another, senior enlisted another, etc. The Air Force doesn't require its members to salute in PT gear, the Army does. So having a mishmash of colors really effed with them. We had Army senior non-commissioned officers saluting one of our junior enlisted based on the color of his reflective belt. Anyway, we don't join the formation until right before it's getting ready to run. Brigade runs are a big deal. They're scheduled weeks in advance. The division, brigades are subordinate units of divisions. This entire division and all of its BCTs consisted of over 20,000 active duty soldiers. Leadership normally participated too, running in the front along with the BCT leadership. Families would come out and line the roads to watch. It's actually quite impressive to see if it's done right. At the staging area, we mulled about until the entire brigade formed up and started running in formation. We fell in at the back. That's where we were supposed to be anyway. So here we are, clip-clopping along behind an entire infantry BCT in our psychedelic reflective belts, enjoying the cheers and laughter from the people watching from the sides. The run was only 5 miles, and running in such a huge formation is slow and tedious. I think it took close to an hour because a formation that size tends to accordion, compressing and elongating at different choke points along the route. As we finished and got back to the staging area, we get the order to fall out and are fiddle effing around because we're parked in an area that's blocked in and can't really go anywhere, when that same Command Sergeant Major and his entourage come storming our way. CSMs only have one default setting, kill. They get off on it. It looked like he'd cranked his up to 11. We were sure we were about to get a spectacular butt chewing. Somehow the public affairs people got to us first. They met us, snapped some pictures, and told us that the division commander wanted to meet with us. Thought it was hilarious. He took some photos with us and said it was the best showing that the Air Force units on post had ever put on. So not only did we get to ruin a crotchety CSM's nut, we also got pats on the back from the division commander. All because we decided that ridiculous rules should be followed to a ridiculous degree. And our last story. My neighbor thinks she has the right to my pool. I'm 29 and live with my husband in a nice house in a smaller town. We both have good jobs, no kids, and a pool in our backyard that's perfect for the hot summers. Our next-door neighbor is a single mom of 3. Her house is smaller and doesn't have a pool. We babysit for her sometimes, so we're pretty familiar with her and her situation. Yesterday morning, my husband had already left for work, and I had just started working from home when I heard noises coming from our yard. Our houses aren't right next to each other, so it was easy to tell that the noise was from our yard. I went to check, and there she was, our neighbor and her kids, swimming in our pool. I was confused because she'd never come over uninvited before. I walked over and asked what was going on. She explained that she had a day off from work and wanted to do something nice with her kids, so she decided to borrow our pool since we don't have much use for it, being child-free. I asked her nicely to leave since they were there without our permission. She thought I was joking. When I asked again, she got defensive and demanded a valid reason why she and her kids couldn't be there. I didn't bother giving her any more reasoning, but told her I would call the police if she didn't leave and warned her not to show up uninvited again. She finally left, but not without cursing at me and accusing me of classism. It's important to mention that our houses are spaced out and you can't see inside our house even from the furthest point of our yard. Because of this, me and my husband often hang out in our yard in our underwear or even naked, so finding her there so comfortably was a real shock. Since then, she's been mad at me and bad-mouthing me to others in the neighborhood. I told my husband and parents about this. My husband and my dad think what I did was reasonable, but my mom thinks I should have been more understanding because she's a hard-working single mom. But I feel like she didn't care about our privacy at all. This is your pool, and you get to decide who can use it, much like you can decide who can walk into your house. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.